While she still feels like our little baby girl who we saw twirl on the red carpet from the age of 11, we've got to admit that she's all grown up now, and boy has she grown up with beauty and grace. She managed to impress us all with her acting and poise on and off screen. We're talking about the one and only Millie Bobby Brown, and she has some wisdom to share, so let's hear it. First off, let's talk about Millie Bobby Brown. We've been doing this for a long time, haven't we? We've seen it all. We've seen the one-hit wonder kids, the child actors who grew up right before our eyes, and are icons that seem to fit just about anywhere. So we've witnessed the times when you're forced into the spotlight and you end up losing your way because it's just that easy to. We've seen the same thing go down earlier too, haven't we? When you're exposed to fame and wealth, the lights and the glam can cause the path ahead to get pretty blurry. We've witnessed firsthand so many young performers that have followed these troubled paths before too. But on the bright side, we do have one example of a certain someone who stuck to her own way and made it big. Despite becoming extremely famous after the Netflix hit series Stranger Things, star Millie Bobby Brown has managed to maintain her modest outlook on life. Next, we've got to share the advice that Millie Bobby Brown received. After her stellar performance of 11 on the Duffer brothers show Stranger Things, Brown exceeded all expectations. At the itty-bitty age of 11, Millie has already demonstrated her acting talents over a range of roles, and sure enough, project after project started to line up for the tiny star. And today, she's one of Hollywood's most sought-after teen actresses. In a previous conversation, she gave us an insight into the finest advice she ever received. Curious? Don't worry, we got you. It's true that Brown has had a lot of experience-based tips from more seasoned professionals in the industry, and from the looks of it, the 11 actress has followed the advice. She's worked hard, kept her head down, and remained true to herself. Want to know who the mystery guy behind the words of wisdom was? It's none other than, drumroll please, David Schwimmer, and Millie's very grateful for his guidance as well. Now let's see what Millie Brown has to say about it all. Millie, owner of the skincare brand Florence, shared that the Friends actor David Schwimmer advised her to love her career during their catch-up session. Ross always was the big brother of the group, wasn't he? Well, true to his role, he told young Brown that you need to enjoy what you do. That's it. That's all there is to it. Enjoy what you do. And that little phrase ended up having a huge impact on Millie, her career, and her outlook on life. Just love what you do, she says, and we believe she truly lives by it. Next, Millie's family has played a big role too, obviously. Advice and counsel haven't been limited to co-stars and icons of the industry. You know what they say, all of it begins at home. Keeping that in mind, Millie Bobby Brown also has immense gratitude for her family and everything they've done for her. They've kept her grounded. In times of need, they've been there for her with some excellent advice on how to stay on the right track. But they're not harsh either, as Brown's parents don't punish their daughter excessively. Instead, they make sure that she doesn't put herself under excessive or unnecessary stress. We can all get lost in our work at times, can't we? And for a workaholic like Millie Bobby Brown, an actress who truly enjoys being on set and filming, it's a little too easy to get caught up in the mix of things. A testament to her work can be seen in Enola Holmes 2, where she stars next to Henry Cavill, and a little birdie tells us that the actress will receive a $10 million check for the sequel. A close-knit support system can launch you towards real greatness, can it? Coming up, the Stranger Things star has had her fair share of backlash in her career. Is anyone truly free from getting burnt in this industry? We haven't seen a single example yet, but let's talk about Millie Bobby Brown. The actress discussed how people have been critiquing her figure. What does that even mean? Well, Millie has been dealing with fat shaming and cyberbullying from a pretty young age. In an interview with Glamour, the actress discussed the ugly side of acting and being a public figure, the parts that no one want, or at least Millie didn't ask for. But she did not think the focus on her body was always at the top of the list. Apparently, people criticizing her appearance, personality, or the fact that she talks too much were some things that she's been called out for that she found rather challenging to deal with. She explained them as comments she didn't ask for from online bullies. That sounds harsh, Mills, sending you virtual hugs. Now, let's see what it was like for Brown to grow up in the public eye. We've seen many examples of these before, too, whether it was Miley Cyrus or Selena Gomez. Their lives may look flashy and perfect, but there's always a dark side when the light and cameras are turned off. Well, actress Millie Bobby Brown referred to her time in the business as a crazy ride and reflected on the effects of growing up in the spotlight. The 18-year-old shared that her story is complicated because it's not like the typical kind of childhood, so she would always tell herself to simply hold on. Yep, the little baby girl Brown would explain to herself that she's about to experience a wild ride, so she has to try to keep in mind who she is rather than who was around her. From the very beginning, she taught herself that people come and go, and it'll still be alright in the end. Honestly, we don't know if this is heartbreakingly sweet or just very sad. Coming up next, we've got to talk about the advice Millie gave herself as a little girl. It's true that the whole experience of growing up amidst the glitz and glamour can be pretty isolating. We're guessing you probably need to focus very hard to keep your head straight. So we've got to know Brown's coping mechanisms, and she was just too happy to share. The Enola Holmes actress said that you've got to know that you are the one person you could count on to keep you from getting lost, because it's so simple to do just that in this field, especially when you're young. And perhaps because of all that, she's known from the beginning what kind of message she wants to send. Now let's find out how things have changed for her since turning 18. While we hoped we'd have kinder news to share, it seems unlikely. Although her professional and personal life is truly thriving, trolls still be trolling. As a response, the star has more recently called the gross modification in her treatment since turning 18 earlier this year. Apparently, creepy forums have appeared online counting down to the young actor's 18th birthday in February, with comparisons being made to the similar treatment other child stars have also received, including Mary-Kate and Ashley Olsen, Britney Spears, and Emma Watson, and the list just goes on. Millie spoke with the Guilty Feminist podcast host and shared the following insight. There's unquestionably a difference between how people behave and how the media and social media respond to my coming of age, and it stinks. The young actress discussed her experiences with body shaming as a young woman growing up in the spotlight and offered the advice to hang on to yourself to a younger Millie in the podcast once more. We hope she serves as an inspiration to young talent everywhere and that her words may one day put an end to this toxic culture. Lastly, let's end on a happy note. Have you heard? The 18-year-old actress has also made her directing debut with a short film, but we weren't expecting anything less either. When it comes to her profession, Millie Bobby Brown doesn't like to take a back seat. She said so herself that she believes she has a few goals that she would want to be able to accomplish. There are certain stories that she'd like to tell, and she has decided that she was not going to keep waiting for them any longer. Brown's simply going to create them herself, and we love that. Honestly though, is there anything this powerhouse of a woman can't do? The 18-year-old is already a skilled actress and has received 2 Emmy nominations for her portrayal of Eleven in the wildly popular Stranger Things series on Netflix. And now Millie has also been producing in recent years. She created the first Enola Holmes movie for Netflix at age 16, and the list just goes on. And that's a wrap for this video. Let us know in the comments what you think of Millie Bobby Brown's coming of age. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this, and we'll see you in the next one.